Good morning, welcome to another session of OCD. Welcome to my workshop. It's a particularly chilly day today, but it's probably just as good because I've got a lot of work to do today. I've got a car in today that has been used as a working vehicle by a plasterer for the last 2 years, and my job today is to clean the inside of it. So I won't leave you to imagine what it looks like. Let's go straight out and have a look. Okay, so here we are. Now let's not take too much notice of the outside, as that's a job for another day. Right, so there's the inside of the door. And there's the inside of the car. Like I said, it's been used as a working vehicle by a plasterer for the last 2 years. Back isn't too bad, and to be honest it's mainly the front and mainly around where he's been sitting. So I think before I start talking about what products we're going to use, I think what we'll do is just give the car a really good hoover out to start with, to try and keep me clean, and then we'll start at the top and work our way down. Alright, let's get the hoover out. Well, after 10 minutes of hoovering one seat, that's made absolutely no difference whatsoever. It would appear that there's very little dust on the seat. Most of it is really ingrained into the fabric. That's all stains. So, you know, I've hoovered any loose stuff off. It's now got to be chemicals. Well, let's move on to the floor and the rest of the cab, shall we? Right, well, I'm not going to bore you with video of me vacuuming, so I'm just going to carry on now and try and get this part of the cab hoovered out and dust free, and then I'll give you a shout when I've finished it. So let's have a quick shufty around here. You can see how dirty it is, but let me get that hoovered or vacuumed out and then I'll give you a shout. Okay, so that's the result of 40 to 45 minutes of vacuuming using those stiff brushes and my vacuum cleaner, and as you can see, it's removed a lot of the loose dust, but there's still a lot of ingrained stuff in there. So I'm going to have to use the get the wet vac out in a little while. But I think before I do that, I want to keep the carpets and the seat reasonably dry. So I'm going to start at the top with the dashboard and the steering column, and then the centre console and the doors, and I'm going to do all of that before I wet vac the carpets and the seats. So let me get some stuff out to do that with. This is Garage Therapy internal cleaner. I've used it, interior cleaner. I've used it once before on hard plastics, which was good, but this has got a bit of soft stuff on it as well. So we'll see how that is. I've already vacuumed it. I'm not bothered about getting the windows dirty, that's all going to be cleaned later. On the face of it, it's done a good job on the hard plastic. Won't really know until it dries, but let's just carry on. Right, let's see what it's like on fabric. This will take a bit longer to get results on because it'll take a while to dry. We'll use a stiffer brush for this, I think. Well, I know that's not dry, but on the face of it, that looks pretty damn good. But let's see what it's like once it's dry. I'm just going to spray this on liberally. Like I said before, not bothered about it getting on the window. So I've cleaned all the flat surfaces now, all around both doors, and in the back as well. Let me just pull this forward. So the side over here and this side here, I've done all of this area here and the dashboard. I've vacuumed all the carpets. Although they don't look brilliant, but I'll get the wet vac on them in a minute. I vacuumed the seats, and again there's lots of stains on them, but I'll get the wet vac out on them. But before I do that, I'll finish off up top and do all the flat surfaces. So I'm just going to get the cot chemi out, and we'll treat all those areas, all those interior plastic areas. Okay, so I've cleaned the fabric parts with Garage Therapy interior cleaner, as well as all the plastic parts. The plastic doesn't look particularly great because a lot of it is just scuffed and marked, and where it's been abused, but it's clean. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going over it with Cot Chemi TS, which is a interior, it's for interior plastics. So that will put some depth of colour back into it and protect it. So let's get on with that. This will just dress the plastic up to make it look a little bit more presentable, and also gives it a bit of UV protection as well. It's not a bad smell. It's a really nice product. I really rate this product. Quite long lasting. Same with these parts around here. Going to do all of the internal plastic. All this has been cleaned with Garage Therapy interior cleaner. In fact, that's the only product I've used on the inside of the car. Now obviously as a working vehicle, this has got lots of scuffs on it. There's not a lot I'm going to do about that. All I've got to do is make sure it's clean and dressed. You can use this on rubber seals as well. There's a lot of scratching and scuff marks on here, but we'll do our best. Right, so I've done all of this side. I've done all the top of the dash and around the column. I'm now going to do exactly the same on the driver's side. So no good videoing that because it's exactly the same. So I'm just going to nip over and do that. Okay, so I've vacuumed the seats and the carpets, and I've cleaned and treated all of the flat surfaces. The only thing left to do now is to get me wet vac out and wash the seats and the carpet. So I'm going to go and get that set up now. Okay, so the wet vac won't work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my Titan Hoover, which is a wet and dry Hoover anyway, or vacuum. So I've taken the dust bag out, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use Garage Therapy interior cleaner. I'm going to spray it on the seats and rub it in with a brush, and then vacuum it out, and then I'll use some clean water afterwards, spray some clean water on and hoover that out as well. Not ideal, but we'll find a way. So let's get set up for that, shall we? Back of the seat just looks a bit sort of tired and a bit dusty. There's lots of stains on the base of the seat though. Okay, so I've done the back of the seat, and I'm really pleased with it. That's come up really well. Yeah, that's superb. So what I'm going to do now, I'll do the base of the seat, and I'll do that on video, and then the sides and the back, and the driver's seat and the back seat I'll do off camera, because it's the same as yeah, let's do the base, and then we'll crack on. Right, that might look like a lot of product, and you'd be right, it is. But what I did, I went over the whole seat, and then I spot checked excuse me, I spot checked the all the stains. So yeah, let's see what happens now, see if all that can come out. Well, I'm so pleased with that. All of those stains have come out. That looks really good. Considering the abuse this car's had over the last couple of years, where it's been used purely as a plasterer's mode of transport. Right, so okay, so what I'm going to do now, I've done the back, I've done the base. I'm now going to go round and do all the sides and the backs of the seats, back seat and the driver's seat. I'm going to do all of that, and then we'll catch up and we'll do the carpets. And by then I might have warmed up a bit. Okay, I'm going to try and do this without getting in your way. I don't realise how much you use the wet vac until it goes wrong there. Well, considering that was like a sandpit in there, and considering my wet vac packed up, my trusty little Titan just about saved the day. I'm quite pleased with that. I didn't think it would get as good as that. There are still some marks in there, some of that is dried cement, and other stuff looks like it's a dried sealant, and then there's wear on this little trap door here. That's just wear, but other than that, I'm delighted. Right, I'm going to do exactly the same as that on the driver's side and behind the back seats. So there we are, finally finished. Door panel nice and clean, dashboard nice and clean, carpet as clean as I can get it. There's some real hard wear in there. This bit here is a hole, and all this bit here is all really worn away, but it's clean. Seats, really pleased with the seats. Let's go around and have a look around the outside. Again, a little bit of wear here, otherwise it's all good. Dashboard's all good, seats all good. Yeah, seats nice and clean now. Bit of a difference. Right, now next video is the outside. See you then. Okay, so that was bloody hard work, but really nice when you look at the result. I'm really pleased with that, and all of that was done with Garage Therapy Zero Interior Cleaner. This is really good. You can dilute it to whatever you want. That in the end I was doing that about 3 to 1, I think, because it was really dirty, the stains on the seats, but this got all of the fabric clean, it got all of the flat hard surfaces clean. I cleaned the whole of the interior with it, so yeah, really pleased. So that's the inside of the Megane done. So the next one will be the outside. So I'll catch you then. Until next time, you guys take care. Bye bye.